All right, YouTubes, it's Mr. Mean coming at you live tonight. It's 8:30 on a Tuesday night here in very gloomy Duluth, Minnesota. It is raining cats and dogs, but that's what happens. We're getting ready to come into winter, and it's gonna be cold. We're already in the 40s, so it's getting there. I'm just cleaning up stuff here. We can talk about a couple stuff. It doesn't appear that there's anybody on the stream just yet. I'm already live. I said I would go live at 8:30, and it is 8:30. So I'm just doing this. How did this all start? Well, a couple months back, I did a review of Dungeon Master's Toolkit from and I can never say his name, and I apologize, Nerzagal. I did a review of his toolkit, and it was really cool. It had a bunch of adventures in it. It had a bunch of magic items. It had a bunch of like random tables, and it was super cool. And I really, really dug it. And I wanted to, and I didn't reach out to the guy or anything. I just posted the video because somebody had recommended it to me, or I think I came across it from the DM's Guild through Drive Through RPG Now, and really dug it. By the way, just to get some housekeeping out of the way now, as I just thought about it, this will go up on YouTube later on tonight. Once the nice thing about doing a live YouTube stream is you don't have to encode it or anything. YouTube takes care of all of that, and I can just post it when it's done. So if you didn't get to catch me live tonight, I'll be on for, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, maybe more, maybe less. But this is not a Patreon video. This is just something I wanted to do because Nerzagal was kind enough to send me a free copy. He reached out to me. So anyway, back to I'm all over the place. Housekeeping. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. I'm on Patreon. If you want to help support the channel, you can do it for as little as $5 a month or as much as $15 a month. Just go on to Patreon, look up Mr. Mean, and you'll find me. There'll be links in the video description here when I'm all done. But long story short, I did a review of Dungeon Master Toolkit Volume 1 and posted it. It was a couple months ago. It was back in like late June, early July. I had bought it before that back in Beaumont when I was working, and I just never got around to reviewing it. And so I was in the hotel room. We were living out of a hotel at the time, and I just popped out a video real quick and posted it. I got, I don't know, 60, 70 views. I'm sure other people saw it on like the G Plus channels where I post, but those don't necessarily correlate to YouTube, so you don't get those stats. So it's always better for me if you go to YouTube and you watch my videos on YouTube, but yeah, it's no big deal if you do or you don't. It helps out my stats, lets me track it better because there's no way to track how many people watch a video on G Plus. And after the first of the year, sometime early next year, from my understanding, G Plus is going away. Google has decided not to keep it going and support it, and they're going to kill it. So a bunch of us, especially most of the Nerds International guys, shout out to my brothers at Nerds International. We've all moved over to Maui or Miwi. I'm not sure how to say it. It's the next generation social network. It's kind of like Facebook without all the annoying privacy issues and ads. Supposedly, according to their tagline, everything is free. Your information is free, and it should stay that way. And they say they're never going to do ads or anything like that. So that's really cool. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to use this for my social interaction. I'm going to keep my Facebook for basically, and pretty much I already do this, but I keep Facebook for really close friends and family. And MeWe is going to be for my gaming related stuff. Hey, Larry, welcome to the channel. MeWe. Yeah, is it MeWe? Is it MeWe? I'm assuming it's MeWe. Anyway, if you haven't checked it out, Larry, join it, sign up. You can contact me on there. I'll be off of Facebook more and more. I'm really sick of Facebook. I don't like the way it works. I don't like the interaction. I don't like the ads. I absolutely detest politics, and I can't join it. Hey, Larry, send me a friend request, buddy. And Facebook is just, every politics season, you get more and more ads. And, I don't care. I don't care about Kavanaugh. I don't care about all this other crap that's going around. It's not my cup of tea. If you're into politics, good for you. I'm a nerd who likes sports. So I get enough crap for that. I just don't need politics in my life. I don't care. That's my personal opinion. I don't, if you're into politics, good for you. I'm glad you have you have it and you like it, but I don't, and I don't want to see it in my social media. It creeps into G Plus every so often, and I have to go in there and prune it. And I'm kind, in a way, I'm glad G Plus is going away, but I'm also sad that we're losing that community, because G Plus is an awesome community. And like I said, the groups are pretty cool, and there's usually no ads or anything inside of G Plus, which is why I started doing more on G Plus than I was doing on Facebook. I do post my video reviews and videos or whatever on my Facebook channel, but I'm going to stop that now that I've got MeWe, and I'm just going to keep Facebook for my close friends and family. So Larry, make sure you send me a friend request. I'm going to put my profile link down in the notes for this video. As a matter of fact, let me see if can I do it here? I don't know. I'm still new to this MeWe, so I'm not exactly sure how it works. My contacts. I don't even know how you send someone a friend request. See if I can search for Larry, since Larry's on here. Larry, are you Larry? Down in the doobly-doo. That's right. I totally stole that from Matt Colville. And if you watch enough of his videos, he'll tell you that he stole it from somebody else. So you're Larry Height. How do you say it? I don't know. I'm stupid. I'm big and dumb. At 6 foot, 250 pounds. I'm not a very smart guy. I just do what I do in the doobly-doo. I love the do. There you are. I've added you, sir. Look at that. And I've invited you. All right. So contact invitation sent. I got a notification. Let's see. Hey, Larry accepted. Woohoo! I feel special. Anyway, and look, you are now contacts with Larry at MeWe. They're still working out the bugs with MeWe, by the way. I noticed one of the little glitches I get like when people change their image or their whatever. As you say it as hot. Okay, cool. Thanks, Larry. Didn't know that. That's one of the bugs I've noticed so far with MeWe, and I'm sure they'll work it out. They pretty much went live not too long ago. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's pretty solid. I'm liking it. Let's see here. If I go here, do that, and then I can put it down in the notes. There you guys go. So anybody, there's only one. Larry, you're the only person in here right now. Hopefully as people check their stuff, it'll go. I wasn't expecting a lot of people to be online. Got me some Arizona iced tea because I like my tea. So yeah, the Nerds International brothers and sisters are going over to MeWe, and so far it looks to be pretty good. I haven't seen any ads. I haven't seen anything that I really don't like. The emails are a little obnoxious because they send you an email about everything, and I'm sure there's a way to go in and prune that. But my Gmail is pretty easy. I get it on my phone, so I mean, it just buzzes. It's no big deal. But I wanted to talk tonight because Dungeon Master's Toolkit, and Larry, I think you were with me for the first video. I think you were chatting with me when I did that first video. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you were on that video. We chatted a little bit. My hair is crazy. But Dungeon Master Toolkit number 2. Bigger, badder, meaner, tougher, cooler, chock full of awesome stuff. So we've got 5 dungeons, 5 one-shots, 10 puzzles, and 100+ magic items and monsters. Guys, I'm telling you, I don't know what this. You know what? Let's find out. Let's open up a drive-through page and let's see how much this thing costs. Because the cool part is I didn't pay for it. I got it for free. And the story behind that is I did a review of his first book, And he months later, like 2 weeks ago, he happened to come across my video, and I don't know how. I don't know if a friend pointed it out or if he just was, Googling himself or whatever, or his tag name Nerzagal, and he came up with it. So let's see. There's Drive Through RPG, and let's search for I can't type. Well, I do have a giant microphone in front of me. Dungeon Master Toolkit. I obviously can't spell dungeon. I am a big dummy. There's called Game Master Toolkit. Let's do a search. Let's see what comes up. Let's see what we see here. Well, what's cool right now is the Game Master Toolkit. The first one is pay what you want. So that's pretty awesome. But I believe that is only PDF. I don't believe it is. You know what? I'll bet you it's on. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's go to Nerzagal role playing. He's only got 2 things. I'll bet you it's in the GM's Guild. All right. Well, let's look at the first one. It's pay what you want. So, you can get it in a book. All right. Well, I can't. I think it's on. What is it? DM's Guild. I never remember what it is. Well, I've got it bookmarked. Who knew? And let's do a search for Nerzagal. Nerzugal. Nerzagal, Dungeon Master Toolkit, number 2. There it is. So it's $14.99. It's PDF is the only way you can get it. So he as the publisher, was able to get this to me for his cost, whatever that is. Print on demand soft cover, $27.95. Yes, DM Guild. Cool. Thanks, Larry. Well, this is hardback, homies. This is hardback. Hey, there's 2 people on. Whoever the second person is, jump in the chat and say hi. I'll give you a shout out because I'm cool like that, and so are you. I am totally goofy, guys. It's past my bedtime. It's 8:45 here, and I'm done. But anyway, so to go back over it, I did a review of one of his books. I found the book. I was looking for something because I was getting ready to run a 5th edition game at my local game store in Beaumont, and I wanted some adventure ideas. Andrew, how you doing, man? I'm not even going to try to say your last name because I'll probably murder it because, well, I'm from Brooklyn, and, well, I'm lucky I walk upright. But nice to see you in the chat, sir. So Dungeon Master's Toolkit number 2. Larry says it's print on demand soft cover for $27.95. Larry, was there an option for hardcover? He sent Nerzagal sent it to me as a hardcover. So I don't even know if that's an option. I do see an ISBN number on the back, so that usually means you should be able to order it. You could probably even get this from. Well, you probably wouldn't be able to get it from Amazon since they're publishing it. Kapak. I thought it was Kupla. Wait, never mind. I'm going into my stupid Star Trek stuff because I used to run $35 for the hardcover. So yeah, chunky, man. $35 for let's see how many pages here, because I'm telling you, this is a chunky book. 267 pages. Very comprehensive index. Very good table of contents. There is a website you can go to where it will allow you, it's like a PDF form or a template, and it will allow you to do your formatting in the style of like D&D books. And so that's what he did. And it's more along the lines of 4th edition. But if you look at that, you can see that's very similar to like a D&D template. I'm telling you guys, the first book was pretty tasty and it whet my appetite. But I obviously haven't had the money to spend $35 to get this. And so anyway, Nerzagal reached out to me like 2 weeks ago and said, he posted on my YouTube channel, he was like a little late to the party thanks for the review. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I just thought it was, I didn't realize that it was him that, was telling me, thanks for the review. And shortly thereafter, a couple minutes later, I got an email saying, hey, this is, and he gave me his real name. I'm not going to put it out here because he goes by Nerzugal. And, he said, hey, I'm Nerzugal. And I wrote the Dungeon Master Toolkit 1 and 2 and a couple other things on DM's Guild. And I just wanted to say thanks for the nice review. And I was like, cool. And then he sends me another, and I said, hey, it was my pleasure. I really enjoyed the book. I hope that came across in the review. And he was like, it did, and then he says, hey, I'd love to send you Toolkit number 2. But unfortunately, I can't send it without having an address because I can get the hardcover at cost. And I'd like to send you I'd like to send you a physical book. And I was like, okay, but, and you guys all know, and there's 2 of you guys in the chat. So please, I'm speaking to people that will watch this video in the future. Everybody knows, most of the people know that follow my channels. I'm not a fan of PDFs, but I ask content providers and publishers to send me their stuff in PDF because I don't want them to spend money, especially if they're a small press company. It is so hard out there right now. Jobs are tight. Money is tight. People aren't spending it the way they want to or the way they used to. So for this guy to take the time and the money out of his table and send this to me, I thought was super awesome. And so I wanted to do a live video, and just go over the book and talk about it and just, praise Nerzugal for just being a super cool dude, man. There's not enough people like you. Okay, so Andrew here is saying definitely getting the first book, hoping same thing happens with the demand on DM's Guild so that the second one gets hardback for us too. Andrew, it looks like, according to Larry, that you can get it for print on demand soft cover for $27.95 if that's a workable option. And then he says $35 for hardcover. So, and the first book, by the way, Andrew, if you go to DM's Guild, the DM's Toolkit is pay what you want right now. So I don't know about you, but I'm still unemployed. Money is uber tight. So man, put $1 in there, at least send the guy $1 and you can get the book for $1 as a PDF, and maybe a little bit. I'm sure the price goes up if you want to get it, physical. But yeah, both books are awesome. I'm having a bad hair day, guys. I'm gonna put my hat on because it's annoying me and I keep seeing it. My cool Hilti hat. I like it. It's a cool hat. Fits me well. Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, definitely pick it up, man. The first one's really good if you GM D&D or Pathfinder or Savage Wars, any fantasy game. There's something in there for you. Even though it's a 5th edition book, you can use it for other fantasy games. You could use it for Tyranoth. You could use it for Dungeon World. I mean, it's got some great ideas. This guy knocked it out of the park. Nerzugal just knocked it out of the park for a fan-made supplement. And this guy's publishing the way I got it, the emails, and of course it's hard to read a lot into an email except verbatim for what it says, but the way I read his email and the way I took it is he's doing okay. He's selling enough of these books to make it worth it, and I mean his writing is top notch. The adventures in the first book and the second one are awesome. He's got one in here that's 4 elemental dungeons, Temple of Pure Ice, and they're all Temple of Pure. So he's got ice, fire, water, and lightning. And the cool shit that's in there, it's awesome, dude. And then he's got 5 one-shots. Narastarim Manor, which is levels 1 to 3. The Well of Wishes, which is 1 to 3. Descent into Dreams, which is levels 1 to 5. The Copper Bolt Conundrum, which is levels 4 to 6. The Showdown in Skullingtown is levels 4 to 7. Then he's got about 6 pages of puzzles. 6 pages of puzzles, and they're very cool. They're well diagrammed out. And then he's got from 113 to 131 pages. He's got random encounters, and it's Arctic, coast, desert, forest, jungle, plains, mountain, swamp, high seas, and city. So any kind of encounter you could want. magic items. Oh my God, does he have a shitload of magic items in here? And they are cool. And there's nothing reprinted from somewhere else. These are all unique magic items that he's created himself. And man, I can tell you, I want to be a Monty Hall GM now because I want players to have this shit because it's so cool. And then he has Nerzagal's Extended Bestiary 2 because in the first book he has a couple monsters. And then this one he has some. And some of them are just reiterations of a common theme. So he's got fighters and monks and paladins as NPCs. And he's got like a rune speaker, a rock worm, a Rasa, primeval Strix, paper warrior. I mean, he's got all kinds of cool stuff. And it's the dungeons are laid out, you know. So the only thing with the dungeons, and I've seen a couple complaints. I pulled away from the mic here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to pull up one of the dungeons without. Yeah. Well, I guess he did fix it. The big complaint in the first book was that none of the dungeons had like a hex grid, so you didn't know how big they were supposed to be or how small. But I don't know how well it's going to show up in the video there. But if you look real close on these, there are little dots to denote like a 5-foot hex or a 5-foot square. So I don't know what people were squawking about because I read it under. Yeah, they all have it. So maybe the person got a PDF and it didn't come out. I don't know. What's Larry saying there? The DM Toolkit 1 and 2 and the GM Toolkit Follow 2, the same format. Did you review the early books? Yes, Larry, I did. I reviewed the Toolkit 1. And like I said, I'm pretty sure you were on that video with me. I did a live video, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong. If you go to my Discord channel, I believe the link to the video is there if you want to go back and watch it later. If not, you can go to my channel, obviously, and it's posted on my channel. So Nerzagal put this out. It's super cool. And like I said, he contacted me and he said, hey, man, you know, thanks for doing a review. I'd like to send you a free book. And I was like, dude, just send me a PDF. And he's like, no, I want to send you a hardback. I was like, okay. But he's like, I need your address because they won't let me send it, you know, without having an address. And I can get it, you know, as long as you give me feel comfortable giving me your address, I can get it done at cost and it'll save me $1. I was like, hell yeah, I'll give you my address. So I gave him my address and, you know, it showed up a couple days later in the mail. Which was super awesome. And I told him I got it, and I told him I was going to do a review. So, Mr. Nerzagal, a huge shout out, a huge thank you to you. This is very cool. So, Larry and Andrew, any questions about this book? I was gushing that, you know, it's a small content. And by the way, I'm over 400 subscribers. So, Andrew, I don't know if you've subscribed to me or not. But if you aren't, please subscribe, like, and subscribe. That helps me out, obviously. And there'll be links in the video chat down here at the bottom of the show notes. The doobly-doo, as Mr. Matt Colville says, which I don't know about you guys, but I back the strongholds and I forgot what he calls it. But anyway, Matt Colville's got a book coming out, Strongholds and something. I can't think of the name of it right now. But I back that. And he says, I love your Discord too. Oh, thanks, Andrew. Like I said, I'm a big dork. Haven't shaved in a day. The wife made me shave the beard. You can buy a Nerzagal's Monster Bestiary by itself as well. Cool, Larry. Thanks. I'm assuming that's on drive-thru or DM's Guild. Include a link if you can, man. Help a brother out. Maybe Andrew wants to buy it. Andrew, are you a D&D player? I'm assuming you are since you're here. Larry plays anything. He's just a whore. I love Larry. Yeah, I don't know about the Bestiary. I'd love to get it too. And I mean, if I had my druthers, I would buy all this guy's books because it's a minimalist format. I mean, you can see there's not a lot of border art. There's not a lot of art in the book. The art is pretty consistent. His drawings and stuff are pretty spot on. I mean, that's the quality of art. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. It's definitely feasible and it works for me. Oh, cool. So DM and a GM, 5e, player 5e. Cool. I play, as you can see, the game shelf. I play a lot of different games, and I'm proud to say I have played almost every game on that shelf, and GM'd almost every game on that shelf. Yeah, I was playing a little bit earlier than that, sir. My mom, I was I was a bad kid, shall we say, and is the only monsters from his GM Toolkit book, not new stuff. Ah, okay, cool, good to know. I was a troubled kid growing up on the streets of Brooklyn, and of course my dad was a Greenwich Village cop, and so I got into a lot of trouble. I was a bad kid, and so my mom got me into comic books, and that helped a little bit. And then I just started hanging out with the wrong kids, and so she saw this Ziploc bag at the bookstore. And she bought it, and it was Dungeons and Dragons. It was white pamphlets with chits. There were no dice because they didn't have dice back then except for D6s. And so my mom actually cut them out for me. And my mom has passed. She passed about 4 years ago. But I vividly remember my mom sitting down on the floor with me. And she'd work like a 16-hour shift at the hospital. And she would come home and she would play D&D with me. That's how awesome moms are. So if your mom is alive, do me a favor. Call her up later on tonight or tomorrow and tell her you love her and give her a hug, because, man, I can't do that. And I'm telling you, that sucks. It hurts. I love my mom and I miss her dearly. But anyway, I'm getting all teary-eyed. But yeah, my mom broke me into D&D, and it was pretty awesome. So, and I still have that white edition D&D, the pamphlets. And I was lucky enough to go to Gen Con back in the early 90s, late 80s, if I remember correctly. And Gary Gygax signed it for me. So I have it in a safe deposit box. And he signed it for me. So it's super cool. It's something I treasure deeply. I'd like to make it to GaryCon if I could, because it's really not that far from me. I'm in Duluth, Minnesota, and I would love to try and get to GaryCon. I'm going to try to go to Gamehole Con, which is in Madison, Wisconsin in November. But this stupid job is killing me there. I did get a job, for those that don't know, and I'll be doing IT support for a local government agency here, but I have to go through this huge background security clearance. And, not only am I stressed out about the security clearance because my credit sucks because I've been unemployed for 6 months, and of course I haven't been making any of my payments. So needless to say, you know how that goes. I've been barely struggling by. And so, I'm hoping that doesn't bar me from being able to get this job. According to the company that I'm going to be working for, it shouldn't. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm hoping. But you gotta do whatever you gotta do. Come to Origins sometime, and I'll see you there. Or AcadeCon. I don't know what AcadeCon is. I know what Origins is. Been to Origins a couple times. But like I said, got to get working, man. I got to get money back in the bank and on the table. I want to try and hit the local cons here. Gamehole Con is in Madison. It's about 5.5 hours away from me. I'm in Duluth. So that's going to be an easier one for me to get to. I still got to get a hotel. And like I said, if this job doesn't start working soon, I mean, next month is November. And if I got to be able to pay my rent and everything. So I'm one of my viewers said that we could share a hotel room. So that was cool. That'll help out a lot. I got to get in touch with him, as a matter of fact, and make sure I can do that. We could still do that, because that would be great. And it also depends on if my wife has to work that weekend or not, because she works for the hospital and she's on rotating shifts. So if it's her weekend to work, I'm screwed, and I may not be able to go anyway. So, because I can't take the kid with me. He's too little. He's only 20 months, so he's too young to go. So unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to take him. So, which sucks, because I took my oldest son to some of the conventions, and that was a hoot. Somebody's hitting me up on chat. Nope, nothing important. It's just MeWe. Let's see what else. So yeah, a lot of cool monsters in here. Let's take a look at one of the monsters. We've got rangers, we've got paladins, and they give you all different kinds of basic different kinds of NPCs. Swarm of temple scarabs. Tell me that doesn't sound freaking cool. Medium swarm of tiny beast, chaotic evil. Armor class 13, hit points 36, or you can randomly roll 8d8. Speed 25 feet. They climb 25 feet. Strength 8 -1. Dex 16 +3. Con 10 +0. Int 2, because it's a swarm of insects. They're stupid. So -4. Wisdom 10 +0, and Charisma 4 -3, because, well, they don't need Charisma. They're insects. Damage resistance, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. Conditional immunities: charmed, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, prone, restrained, and stunned. Senses, dark vision 60 feet. Passive perception is 10. They don't speak. Challenge rating 2, 450 XPs. Swarm. The swarm can occupy another creature's space and vice versa, and the swarm can move through any opening large enough for a tiny temple scarab. The swarm can't regain hit points or gain temporary hit points. And then it goes into their damage. So they bite at a +5 to hit, reach 5 feet, one target, 10 damage, or 44 piercing damage if you want to roll it. I don't know about you guys, but when I GM, I just take whatever the average of damage is. I've got enough to worry about with not rolling extra dice. And then one of my pet peeves when I run most role-playing games is especially games like D&D and Pathfinder, which is, a D20, any D20 based game, I prefer my players to roll their attack die and their damage die. That way, if they hit, they've already got their damage. If they miss, no big deal. Just ignore the dice, pick them all up, and when it's your turn, you roll again. If you get a crit, you just pick up another set of dice and you roll them, or you double it, depending on what house rule you're using. I usually just let them roll the damage again. I don't believe, because I think it sucks. I've seen a lot of times where you get a crit and you roll your damage dice and you get like the lowest you can get. Say you're rolling 2d8 plus 6 and you roll 2 1s. Woo, you did 8 points of damage. Double it. You did 16 points of damage. It's a crit. Jesus Christ, it should hurt. So I let the players reroll. Now, if they get 2 shitty dice rolls, well, it's just the fates. It was meant to be. But I like to let my players roll double. And then, the modifier doesn't double, but the dice do. So, oh man! And if this thing hits you, you have to make a success. You have to succeed on a DC 12 Constitution saving throw, or 1d4 scarabs burrow under your skin. The creature may use one of its attack actions to attempt to cut out a scarab. You must make a DC 10 sleight of hand check, cutting in out of a victim on a success and dealing 3 damage to the swarm. Success or fail, the creature in which the scarab was burrowed takes 1 point of piercing damage for this maneuver. Oh my God, that just sucks. And then it says, if the scarab is burrowed at the end of each of its turns, it moves closer to the creature's brain, dealing an additional 1 piercing damage. If the scarab is not removed after 3 turns of being burrowed, it latches onto the brain of the creature and takes control of its body until removed. A creature that has a scarab removed from its brain falls unconscious for 1d4 days. Oh my God. Oh, that's just brutal, guys. Let's see here. Andrew says he just finished a Discord bot to generate random effects for critical hits and misses. Nice. I actually like using the Pathfinder app on my phone for critical hits and misses because it's pretty relevant. It still works for D&D as well. And I also have the crit deck for that was published. I forgot who published it for D&D. Where if the players roll a natural 20, you give them a card and it has some sort of benefit on it. And then if you roll a natural 1, the GM gets a card. And then it has some negative things on it. So so the next time you roll a 1 or any other player rolls a 1, the GM can play that card and the effects of the card take place, and the GM gets another card to replace because you rolled another natural 1. And then same thing for the natural 20s. You get to play a card to add whatever to it. So those are really cool if you haven't seen those. I forgot who puts them out. I got them in the dungeon crate, loot crate boxes, and they were pretty neat. Andrew, I haven't looked at creating bots on my Discord channel just because it's weird to say. I don't know if anybody's been unemployed for any length of time, but the problem with being unemployed is, everyone thinks, oh, you got all this free time. You really don't. You spend so much time looking for a job and networking and, trying to get a job. And then the downside of it is when I think, I'll work on some hobby stuff, or, I'll paint a miniature, or I'll, go read this book that I've been wanting to read for gaming, you get depressed because you realize, oh shit, I could be working right now. Or, there's that part of your brain that, at least for me, clicks in and says, oh, you should be working. And then I get all depressed and bummed out and I don't want to do anything. So I sit on the couch and I watch YouTube videos, or I get even more depressed. And then I get on Indeed and go, career builder and everything. I start looking for more jobs. Here's the funny thing. I got here May 4th is when I got into Duluth. As of May 5th until last week, 2 weeks ago, Just on Indeed.com, I have applied for 124 jobs. Just on Indeed. That's not including Career Builder, Monster, Dice, Hot Jobs, Snag a Job, because I'm registered in all those places. So how crazy is that? Just on Indeed, I've applied for 124 jobs, and I've had maybe 5 interviews. I mean, so it's brutal out there, man. There's jobs, and like every job I see for IT here in the Duluth area, there's like 15, 25 guys applying. People, I don't want to say guys, 15 to 25 people applying for that same job. It's just brutal. I'm lucky I got the interview with this company, and the interview went really well, and they like me, and the pay's not where I'd like it to be, but it's better than nothing. And hopefully after 30 or 90 days, I'm not exactly sure which one it is, I do get a review, and hopefully I'll get, maybe a quarter pay raise or 50 cents or whatever they deem appropriate. Hopefully it'll be enough to make me want to stay there, because if it's not, I will look for something else. Because, the old saying goes, it's easier to find a job when you have a job. Rune-bound dire wolf. Large beast, chaotic evil. Armor class 14, natural armor. That's a beast. Pack tactics, rune-bound. The wolf's body is coated in magical runes granted by a rune speaker that provide it with additional strength. The wolf gains one of the following runic bonuses. Oh, by the way, this wolf has a strength of 20. Ouch. So you get one of these 3 choices. The Rune of Fortitude. The wolf's AC is increased to 16. In addition, as long as the wolf has at least 1 hit point, it regenerates 5 hit points at the start of its turn. Great. A regenerating dire wolf. That's just ducky. Or it can have the Rune of Strength. The wolf's bite attacks deal an additional 3 piercing damage, and it has advantage on strength checks. Oh, that's joy. And then Rune of Swiftness. The wolf has advantage on dexterity saving throws, and its speed is increased by 20 feet. What's its speed? Where's its speed? Speed is 50 feet, so an extra 70 feet. This fucking thing will chase you down and eat you one way or the other. Its bite is a +7 to hit. It's 5-foot reach. One target hit takes 12 points of damage, or 2d6 + 5. Piercing damage. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 15 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. Oh my god. And then there's a rune-bound giant. And there's a nice illustration of it. So, not the greatest art, but not the worst. It's acceptable. I've been reading the magic items in here, man, and I can tell you they are awesome. So I see a third person's jumped on the chat. Please jump in and say, or on the video, jump in and say hi, so I can give you a nice shout out. We're just talking about the Dungeon Master Toolkit Volume 2, which Nerzagal, the author, was kind enough to send it to me for free. After he watched my review of one of his other books, he was impressed. And so he reached out to me and said, hey, I'd like to send you a free copy. And I was like, sure. So I told him I'd get a review, and I thought, what better way to do it than to do a live review? So some of my followers can get in here and ask questions and stuff. So I got all kinds of shit going on my phone here. And Mr. Costa is a new subscriber to the YouTube channel, so thank you, sir. Joshua, welcome to my meanies. And like I said, we got a third person in here watching the video, so please say hi if you can. Maybe you just want to hear my voice babble on. But we were just talking over this and going over what's going on in Mr. Mean's life. Just put the kid to bed. My wife was working a night shift. I had to cancel my Pathfinder playtest for 2.0 Pathfinder. Really bummed about that, because I really enjoyed running that Pathfinder. I ran the first scenario and was getting ready to jump into the second scenario. And it was a lot of fun. I really liked the mechanics of Pathfinder. They totally, in my opinion, stole some things from D&D 5th edition, which I think is cool, because there are some cool things in D&D 5th edition, and they work great in Pathfinder 2nd edition. The cool thing about Pathfinder is that they have the action economy now. They have action points. Every character gets 3 action points. And with those action points, you can do whatever you want. You want to attack 3 times, you attack 3 times. You want to run 3 times, you can run 3 times, you know. So it's kind of nice that you can do you can do pretty much what you want with that action economy. It's really cool for like spellcasters because basically most spells usually only require one of the 3 components: verbal, somatic, or material. And so you can cast it with just that one action, but it'll be slightly reduced. The more items you add to that spell, you know, say you're doing somatic and then you add a verbal and a material, the damage scales up. So it's pretty cool. So I really like, so even at a first level magic user, whether you're a sorcerer or a mage or a warlock or whatever, well, not a warlock, but you know, a mage or a sorcerer, you have some cool options. You want to cast a spell off quick and then move twice, you can do that. It's going to do less damage, but you also get the hell out of dodge, which is, you know, could be the difference between life and death. So, you know, there's a reason in role-playing games they say geek the mage, because, you know, fireballs kill. A little sip of my Arizona iced tea. Good stuff. So, nope, somebody left. Oh, well, maybe they didn't like what they were seeing, or they just popped in to see what was going on. Let's see what else. I don't even, how long have we been on, guys? We've been on for 41 minutes. Woohoo! Any other questions, or anybody, you know, anything you want to see in the book, or any other monsters you're curious about? Like I said, there's a lot of neat shit in here. This guy, Nerzagal, just, I mean, he knocked it out of the park. And now he's got some cool NPCs in here. The Devious Virtuoso, which is a bard / rogue. Oh, Larry's got a question on Shattered. Shoot, brother. What's your question? The book's in the other room, but I can try to answer it. Did you get your copy yet? Or did you buy the PDF? Type faster, Larry. The YouTubes are watching. Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to go get my Shattered book just so I can answer questions. Shattered. Looks like the XP spends are used. Used to buy skills like Warhammer 40. Yes, you are absolutely correct. And also to upgrade your attributes and talents. Talents are a big thing in this game. So there are some talents have levels, and you can buy, you know, increasing levels of those talents. If you haven't seen this, Andrew, speaking to you and into the future viewers on YouTube later on when this goes up, this is a small press game by a company called Indie. INDE, or what it stands for is It's Never Dark Enough. If you go back in my archives and you look, I did an interview with these guys and we talked about it, because one of the things I like to bring to light is a lot of people don't understand what's involved with a Kickstarter. Most people think, well, you know, I give them my money and I get my book, and then they get upset when they don't get their book on time, which rightly so they should. But you're investing. You know, that's the key word that a lot of people forget. You're investing in a product that's not even made yet. A lot of times they have, like in this case, the book was done. The content was done. They just needed the capital to get the book actually produced. And let's see. Hold on one second. I got a little treat here. The guys over at Indie I paid for these. They didn't send them to me for free. I bought these, but they have their own dice because it's a scaling dice mechanic. So they have their own dice, and I don't know how well that's going to come out. Oh yeah, come out pretty good. But they got, so you get, when you buy the dice set, you get a D10, a D8, a D6, and a D4. Now the only problem is you need multiples, but the dice are pretty damn sexy. And they didn't get a lot of these made. So if you go onto their Discord channel, let's see if it can take me out of the picture, if it'll focus. Yeah, there. Will it focus that way? Yeah, there you go. Put it right up in front of it. There you go. Look at that. That is pimp. So anyway, that's the dice. And Larry says he got the book pretty quickly. How many pages in volume 2? Andrew's asking. Andrew, there is, I believe, 267 pages, sir. It is a chunky tome. And I honestly, I think if you know, obviously, if you can get it in hardback or softback, get it. I think it's totally worth it. But if you only can get, you know, the PDF, go for it. I think if you're a GM, you'll find use out of the book. I really dug the layers of the environment, elemental layers that he has in there. Oh look, man, you can even see it in the background. But my player's handbook is right there, man. So I'm excited. I'm a big fan of D&D. It's not my favorite game to run, but I do enjoy it. I hardly ever get to play. I'm usually a GM. I like playing. I prefer to play face to face, sitting at a table with some friends. I love going to conventions. Like I said, I'm going to try to go to Gamehole Con, and when I go to Gamehole Con, I'm going to run The Dark Eye. This is one of my all-time favorite games. I've been a fan of this game for years, and this is well worth your money. If Andrew, if you like a very detailed fantasy game, this is. I don't know if you know about the game or not, but this is Germany's version of D&D. This has been out for 30 years, and this is their 5th iteration. This is the 2nd iteration to be converted to English, and I have both versions. The production value on this is awesome. These are the Ulysses Spiel North America. These are the same guys that have done Torg. So Andrew, if that's the image of you and your little icon there, you look like a grognard like me. I'm almost 52, and Torg, everybody, and I played a hell of a lot of Torg, and I kickstarted the new Torg. Not as wild about it as the original Torg, but I still like it. I was playing with a group in Texas, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. So yeah, but yeah, check it out, man. And I've got a bunch of reviews of all the product that they have out up to date on The Dark Eye on my channel. So we'll second that motion. The Dark Eye is sweet. I have the smaller edition though. Yeah, I bought that one as well. I bought that at my local game store in Beaumont because I wanted it's a paperback version. It's digest size, and it's awesome. And it's everything that's in this book and the hardback book is in that book, only smaller. Nice. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, it's a great game, man. If you like a very detailed world, I know it's hard to see and I can't really focus my camera in, but down here in this bottom corner, this is all the Dark Eye stuff. You probably couldn't even see that when I bent down. I apologize. I'm a dork. They've got about 5 or 6 books out. They've got a map pack out, and they do some of the best maps in gaming. This is a temporary house. Once I get on my feet and we get past this hurdle of indebtedness and everything, I'm going to use my VA loan to buy a house. Because I want my son to grow up in a house. I grew up in a house. My wife grew up in a house. I think it's important to have a house and not pay rent to somebody. But one of the things I want to do is I want my game room in my house, and I'm going to put up all those maps on the wall. And I have a couple really nice laser pointers. And so when I'm running the game, I like to point to the maps and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm actually pretty handy with my hands, and I've found some nice designs online to build a pretty sweet gaming table that uses an LCD or a flat screen TV. And I have a 42-inch TV in the bedroom that we don't even use. It's literally collecting dust. And so I'm going to mount it inside of a table. I'm going to make my own gaming table because I have a lot of tools, and I'm going to put them to use. And I want to definitely make my own gaming table. I think that's a kind of a cool thing to have, and it'd be something to pass on to my kid because I'm obviously not a spring chicken, so I can pass that on to my kid. And Andrew, the VA came through for us. Thank you for your service. I too am a disabled vet. Awesome, Andrew. Yeah, I'm not disabled. Well, not physically, mentally. Hey, William. Greetings from the gloomy Beaumont, Texas. Hey, man. Yeah, well, it's gloomy here too. It's been raining all day, William. Your name doesn't look familiar to me. I hope you're a follower of mine. If not, please click the like and subscribe. But thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. We're talking about the Dungeon Master's Toolkit Volume 2 by Mr. Nerzagal. And so we're just babbling about that. And Andrew was just telling us that he's a VA. Yeah, the VA, Andrew, has been paying my rent for the last couple of months. We were literally homeless. We were living out of my car. And things just didn't work out when we got up here like we thought they were going to work out. And we wound up being homeless. And it just so happened that my wife was talking to a guy in the park. And thank you, William. Appreciate it, sir. Was talking to a guy in a park and was like, did he get his money? And my wife was like, what are you talking about? And his money from the VA. And so he told us to get a hold of the local MAC. It's called MACV, Military Assistance Veterans Duluth or something like that. And so we went in and talked to them. We had pretty much everything we owned in a U-Haul. I didn't know how I had one more month of money to pay for U-Haul. That's $74 a month for the storage container that was in U-Haul. The rest of the stuff was at a friend's place, and he was letting me keep it there so that I didn't have to pay so much for U-Haul, but we had nowhere to sleep. We were going to have to sleep in our car. Luckily we have 2 cars, but we have a baby. He's not even 2 years old yet. And at that time he was only about 15 months. So we were shitting bricks, man. I've been homeless once before in my life, but I was single. I was a 20-something guy. I was just out of the military. I didn't give a shit. I slept in my car. The cops would roust me, and I'd go move and park somewhere else. And I worked at a gas station during the day to make money, and then I'd go party, and then I'd go check into a hotel for a night, take a shower, shave, whatever, and then wash my clothes in the little laundry room, and then I'd go do it all over again. And finally I got tired of that, and a buddy was like, hey man, I can't find work and I'm going in the Army. And I was like, cool, let's go. So we went in the Army, and luckily me, I got sent to Desert Storm. Yay. Luckily I wasn't wounded or anything. I was only over there for 2 weeks, and I came back. So I've got friends that are still over there. So Andrew, I thank you for your service. And it sucks to be disabled. I hope everything's going okay for you. And it's guys like you and I that allow me to do the things that I'm doing right now. So I hope you enjoy the content, and I like doing it. I have fun with it. And I wouldn't trade those military years for anything. My only regret is I got out. I should have stayed in, because I'm 50, almost 52, and I'd be retiring from my second career right now, which is stupid because I went in when I was 17 to support my mom. And geez. But it is what it is, and you live and you learn, and you make mistakes, and you learn from them, and it makes you a better person. So I'm excited to be going back to work. Like I said, I'm 51. I'm right at 6 foot, 245, 250. I fluctuate. I'm in pretty good health. I got a bum knee, but it's nothing that I can't live with. A little shot of cortisone every now and then, and I'm back up and at it. So yeah, the VA, man, has taken really good care of me. They've helped me out to get me back on my feet, me and my family. And so if you guys give to charity, give to the VA, man. Support your local Veterans Administration. They really, Trump's done one good thing in that he approved a $52 million grant or whatever for veterans, for the Veterans Administration to help with services and stuff. So that's a great thing. And if you are a vet, use your VA services, man. Take advantage of those home loans and sending your kids to college and everything. My oldest son is in college right now. He's doing great, and everything's it's awesome. So, but other than that stuff, William, did you have any questions about the toolkit? Larry says, Mr. Mean, I'm going to get the toolkit. They seem really chock full of gaming goodness. Larry, man, I know you've been watching my videos for a while, and I hope I haven't steered you wrong on anything in the past. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you've got the money, get it. Even if it's only in a PDF, pick it up. It's totally worth it. There is some cool stuff. I mean, I consider myself a verbose GM when it comes to thinking up things and coming out with outside the box kind of scenarios and stuff. And he's got stuff in there that I would have never thought of. And that's what's great about it. You know, I dig the GM's Guild. I think it's a really good source. I know it puts a lot of money in WotC's pocket, and that's okay. They're a business; they need to make money, and I'm glad for them in that aspect. I just hope I don't know what the cut is or whatever that the content provider gets versus what WotC gets or what Drive-Thru gets, because those that don't know, GM's Guild is owned by Drive-Thru and RPG Now, but it is really cool service, and I think it's great. So yeah, totally get it, man. At least get one in PDF and see how you like it. And then if you like it a lot, get it, get the other one in print, because they're pretty much the same. They're totally different. There's nothing repeated in here. And what's nice in his adventures, if he references a monster that's in the other book, it has a little note in there that tells you this monster is in Toolkit 1. So it's pretty cool. And like I said, I think if you've got a gaming library like that, then it's worthy of being on your shelf. It's totally worth it. William, are you a D&D player, or do you play other games? I play everything, as you can see from the shelf. There's not too many games I haven't heard of or haven't played. And are you a GM? I purchased the original toolkit in December of 2016, and it has been a nice addition to my... Man, that's awesome. So looks like we lost somebody. I am assuming it was Andrew. But anyway, thanks for watching, Andrew, and it was nice chatting with you. Larry says, nice. He's put a lot of work into those. Yeah, they're really neat. I really enjoy it. Like I said, one of my big pet peeves is art. But in a book like this, I can forego the art, because the nice part is the art is consistent. It's not great art. It's not going to win any awards, and it's very sparse. But the art all follows a consistent theme. So I'm okay with that. Is it my style of art? No, I don't like it. I don't particularly care for the art in here, but it's consistent. He doesn't have 15 different artists. He doesn't have, a bunch of clip art. He doesn't have some shitty line drawings in here. It's decent art. I mean, is it my style? No, it's not. I don't particularly care for it. Does it fit the theme of this book? Completely. Yes. Does it make the book nicer? Yes. It adds to the value of the book, and I like that. So yeah, he's put a lot of work. He gives credit to the artist. I don't remember who the artist was. Wendy Roberts. The Sundrop scroll art was created by Olivia Cole. Everything else was created by the immensely talented Eula Plokaya. I hope I said that right. Andrew's still here. YT froze, YouTube froze and had to refresh. I really like the Sword Coast Adventures Guide. Could have more content. I totally agree. I will say I was a little disappointed in the Sword Coast Adventures Guide. I have it. It's up there on the shelf. You can see all the red books right there. That's all the core books. I sold the adventures like the Curse of Strahd and the Dragon Queen or whatever it is. I sold all of those because I ran the Curse of the Dragon Queen or Dragon Horde or whatever it is, the first one, and I wasn't too impressed with it. It had a ton of typos in it. And I'm, for $30, $35, whatever it costs, I thought, you're right, William. I'm going to go right there with you. He says he thought it was the worst WotC book he's ever bought. Yeah, I agree. That's why I haven't picked up the Eberron. I'm a huge Eberron. I don't know if you can see up there on the shelf, but there is, and dare I say, a fuck ton of Eberron books. I think I have almost all of the books, the hardback books. And I've just heard so many negative things about the Eberron book that it's not even funny. So I'm not going to buy it. I'll wait until I see it as I think you can buy it as a PDF right now. I don't even think it's physically out, except as a PDF. And I'm just so disenchanted with it from everything I've read that, it's just a WotC money grab. And that's pathetic, because they have the money that they don't need to put out shit quality. and I feel like that's kind of sucky. So, it's one of those things. But speaking of Mr. William, and you're in Beaumont, do you go to Bookstand? Have you been to Bookstand? It's a pretty neat game store. She has a lot of open area for gaming upstairs. We used to game there all the time. Yeah, I do agree, William. They can do better, and they've done better. And one of the things he says, of course, like duh. Yeah, sorry, man. I will say that one of the big things I miss from WotC from back in the day, from the TSR days, is the maps. They used to put like in their Legends of the Rokugan, the D20 version of L5R, awesome map in the book. A couple of I think the Eberron, one or two of the Eberron books had maps in them of the world and everything. I keep thinking I'd run into you, but never did. I was there almost every Saturday, and I posted. There was a Beaumont gaming group on Facebook, and I would post. There's also, if you don't know, there used to be a meetup group. I don't know if they're still meeting, but the last time I went, which is like the month before I moved, there was like 18 to 25 members. So they meet every other Saturday. You can always. I don't do Facebook. Good man. I'm slowly getting off of it as well. But yeah, go in there and talk to. I don't remember her name. The owner, the grumpy old lady. I love her to death. But go in and ask her when the meetup group still meeting. Most of them are grognards like me. In their late 30s, to all the way up until I think one of the guys is like 58. Brenda. I think you're right. I think it is Brenda. She's a grumpy old coot, but I love her. And she used to give me such a hard time, but it was in a good way. She would just pick on me. I guess she knew I could take it. Come on, my nickname is Mr. Mean. What does that tell you? But she's a sweetheart. And she was always super nice to my wife. I don't know. I guess my wife had to put up with me. So, but, she, there's a meetup group there. There's quite a few D&D groups that play there. Of course, Magic is pretty big there. So definitely, they have that little board in the back. I wonder if my card's probably taken down, because the guy that moderates the Magic group also keeps track of that, because his dad does a lot for the store. God, I can't. Don. I can't think of his name now. But he does a ton of stuff for the store. Yeah, she's great. She always picks on me too. Yeah, she picks on a lot of people, dude. She is a grumpy old coot, but I liked how she had the little spot for the new stuff that came out. The gaming store here, there's three gaming stores. One in Wisconsin called Level Up. They're pretty much a 40K shop. And then we have Dungeon's End, which is, I have a love-hate relationship with Dungeon End because it's a nice store. They have lots of gaming there, open tables and stuff. And if you're ever in the area, go in and check it out. Tell them Mr. Mean sent you. But they just don't carry shit. Like, he's got a whole bunch of old shit that he's trying to sell for like almost cover price. And it's like, really? This shit I can buy on eBay for half this price. Now, that being said, I've sold a couple things there, and he's given me fair value. So I can't really say, but what irks me is you go to Paizo's website and you look for authorized distributors of their products, and of course, one of the things I do when I move to a new town is I look for what game stores are in the area. And one of the easiest way to do that is to go to WotC's website or Paizo's and look for their authorized distributors. And so I go there and I see Dungeons Inn. So I'm like, sweet. So I go to Dungeons Inn. They don't have anything new for Pathfinder. They've got a bunch of old shit, and then I ask them, well, you're going to get the playtest 2.0. Oh, my neighbor's car alarm's going off. I apologize if you guys can hear that. No, we have to order that directly from Paizo. We're not going to carry that. I'm like, well, you do know that on the Paizo site, it says that your blurb that was written by you says that come in for all the latest Pathfinder stuff, and you don't have anything new on the shelf from Pathfinder. Well, yeah, so then take it down. It's a pet peeve, man. If I'm new to the area, or I look on Paizo's website and it tells me to go to your store to buy something that's new, and I expect you to have it, and I get there and you don't have it, and you tell me, oh, I got to order it. You just lost the sale, and I'm probably never coming back. That being said, we have another store here called Rogue Robots and Comics, and he's mainly a comic book shop, but he does carry a bunch of games, and it's pretty cool. If you're ever in the area, check those out. If you're a 40K player, then you can go to Level Up. They play a lot of 40K at Dungeon's End as well. And like I said, it's a cool store. I go in there. I was running the Pathfinder playtest there, but unfortunately, my wife got switched to swing shift, and so I can't leave the baby alone. Obviously, could duct tape them to the wall, but it might not go over well if the wife finds out. But I see somebody else joined, or that's Mr. Andrew coming back. Maybe his YouTube crashed as well. I don't know. But if that's somebody else, oh, that was probably Andrew. Yeah, because he said his YouTube froze. So well, that's nice, William. I'm sorry I never got to run into you, sir. Any other questions, guys? Anything about any hobnobbing over GMing or anything you guys want to talk about? I'm here for you guys, man. Silence. Well, anyway, we were going over Dungeon Master's Toolkit 2. So like I said, it's definitely a buy in my book. I've really been enjoying reading. In fact, I've got it bookmarked because I am literally reading the magic items one by one. They are just so cool and just so far out there that, I mean, you just wouldn't think. And it's really cool. I mean, he's put a lot of detail. Great Sword of the Angel Slayer. I mean, now, if that doesn't spark you, I don't know what does. Great Sword, very rare, requires attunement. And by the way, I love the attunement rules for D&D. You gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls while wielding this magical greatsword. When you hit an angel with it, the angel takes an extra 2d6 necrotic damage. When you roll a 20 on an attack roll made with this weapon against an angel, the angel must succeed a DC 17 wisdom saving throw or take an additional 25 necrotic damage. And it says, when you attune this weapon, you sprout a set of black feathered angel wings and gain a fly speed of 30 feet. These wings persist as long as you remain attuned to the weapon. Additionally, you can also cast the Hollow spell. Once you have done so, you can't do it again until the next dawn. Oh my God, that's awesome. So for your evil players, that's just one of the magical items, and they're all very cool. What are you saying here, Mr. William? Are you going to be getting a copy of Strongholds and Followers book by Matt Koval in the doobly-doo? Yes, I will. I backed it at the physical level, so I'm getting the T-shirt, the stickers, and the hardback book. Larry, if you're sleepy, go to bed, sir. I appreciate you staying up with me. I'm not going to be on too much longer because I got to get to bed. My son's got doctor's appointment in the morning. So don't feel like you have to hang on here, sir. I don't want you to put your health in jeopardy. Go get your Z's, man. Yes, William, I am definitely getting it. I follow Matt Colville on YouTube, and I definitely enjoy watching his videos. I like his GMing style. I can't wait till they start streaming again for their D&D game. Yeah, I'll definitely do a review of that. I don't know if you know, William, but I'm also a Patreon content provider. And so unfortunately, when the book comes out, you'll see my review probably a week to 2 weeks later after it comes out, because that video will be a Patreon video. And my subscribers get it first, and then it comes out a week later after I post it to Patreon, and Patreon does all that automatically. So there'll be links in the doobly-doo. And yeah, no kidding, sir. I can't wait to see it myself. I think it's going to be great. I really am looking forward, and it's probably what's going to really gear me into running a D&D campaign full time, like a weekly D&D game. I'm in a Mithras. I'm in a Mithras RPG right now on Fridays. But by the time I don't remember when the book is going to be posted, or when the backers are going to, I'm not sure if it's going to be this year or early next year. I don't remember. I am excited though, on a side note, and we'll go tangent shiny. Sentinels of the Multiverse is a super freaking awesome non-collectible card game. If you haven't played it, get a copy of it. I think you can get the base copy for like $17 off of eBay, maybe $20, $30 off of Amazon, not eBay. You might get it cheaper on eBay. You too, Larry. You have a great night. Great product review, Mr. Mean. Thank you, sir. Very kind words. I appreciate it. And as always, be nice. I know that isn't really your speed, so I'm interested to hear about your game. You mean D&D, William? Yeah, I do like D&D. I think there's better games out there, man. D&D just has, like here in Duluth, this is a small town. We're about the size of Beaumont. I think we're slightly larger than Beaumont. And the downside is I've been trying to get a game of Realms of Tyranoth, which is a Genesis from Fantasy Flight Games. I really dig the system. It basically uses the Star Wars system with the funny dice, the proprietary dice. But I like that type of storytelling. I was a huge White Wolf fan back in the day. I love Dungeon World. I like storytelling games where the mechanics are light and the storytelling is heavy. Uncharted Worlds, which is powered by the Apocalypse sci-fi, basically sci-fi version of Dungeon World, to say it. Even though they're not the same game, they're totally opposites. But those are the kind of games I really dig. But that being said, like I said, I really enjoy running Pathfinder right now, and I do enjoy running D&D, but I get burnt out on it real quick because there's nothing to keep me motivated, I guess. So I think if I get a good group and we use the strongholds and followers, I think that's going to be awesome. And I'm going to set my campaign in the Tal'Dorei universe, which is the Critical Role. I'm a critter. I watch it every week. Usually can't stay up late enough to watch it because they play for anywhere between 2 and 4 hours if you watch Critical Role, and I can't do it. Can't stay up that late. So I'm gonna set my game in Tal'Dorei, which is the Critical Role. So yeah, too cool. Yeah, man. And I think with that and the stronghold and followers, because one of the things that Matt Mercer did in campaign 1 is, they got a castle, they got some followers. He didn't take it to the level that Coville's taking it, but it was headed in that direction. And it was really cool to see that and the interaction of the NPCs and bringing those to life. And I'm one of those GM that I do all the stupid voices. I shouldn't say stupid. That's derogatory. I like doing the voices, and I like to have fun with that. So I like to bring my NPCs to life. And so I'm totally looking forward to it. And I think strongholds and followers is going to really, it's going to get my juices flowing to run a good fantasy game. And again, that doesn't only have to be used for D&D. You could use that for Pathfinder 2.0, for Starfinder, which I think is another very cool game, or any other role-playing game. You just take those concepts and you transfer them over. The mechanics are mechanics. You can adjust those as you need be, but I'm definitely looking forward to that book when it comes out, and looking forward to seeing Matt stream again. Because like I said, I'm a huge fan of Matt Coville. Let's see. So William says, I have a group that I'm running in Tal'Dorei, and my group just got a tower themselves. The idea was that I'd get a copy of Strongholds and Followers about the same time. Nice. So see, great minds think alike. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it's, I don't know if you've been following the Kickstarter post, but he's really, he's very transparent, and I like that. He's been very upfront with what he spent the money on. They raised pardon my French, a fuck ton of money for that one book. And of course that allowed them to produce the miniatures, which is super cool. Those crystal dragons are amazing. I didn't get any, and I don't believe you're going to be able to buy them outside of the Kickstarter, at least those. I think he's going to have other ones, but they won't be the same as the ones that are in the Kickstarter. which sucks, but I just didn't have the money at the time. I barely was able to scrape up enough to buy the core book, which I think my wife slapped me upside the head. Yeah, he's been very good about telling the status of everything. Yes, he has, and I'm pretty excited about it. That's the joy of. Okay, yeah. So you backed at the same level I did. You get the T-shirt, and you're going to get some stickers. Woohoo! That might be the one sticker I put on my car. I'm not a big fan of putting stickers on my car, but I might put that one on. And I have to re-register my vehicle next May, and I think I'm going to get personalized license plates that says I'm the GM, or some variation of that, just because I think it. Oh yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. We have a fourth person jumped in, so feel free to jump in the chat there and say hi, so I can give you a shout out. We were talking about the Dungeon Master's Toolkit. 2, really enjoying it and just talking about it. So if you have any questions or whatever, feel free to ask. Right now we're talking about D&D and the Tal'Dorei campaign book and Mr. Matt Colville's Strongholds and Followers, that it seems that William and I both backed at pretty much the same level. But before I got off on my tangent there, I just got noticed that my Sentinels of the Multiverse uber duper crazy stupid, I spent so much money on it, Kickstarter was delivered yesterday. So I get to go pick that up tomorrow from my mailbox. So I'm super excited. If you haven't had a chance to play that card game, I highly recommend it. It is a really good card. It's only for, I believe it's 4 or 5 players, but you can increase it up to 6 or 7 if you let one person play the bad guy, and one person play the environment, which still gives them enough to do because it's a turn-based game. Everybody takes a turn. So you can increase the maximum player to, I think, 2 more than what it says on the box. But they've, over the years, Greater Than Games has put out, I don't know, a crap ton of expansions and little booster packs. It's a non-collectible card game. They've done their own art, and it's pretty much made that company and made Greater Than Games who they are. They have an Android and an iPhone app for the game as well, so it's pretty cool. But if you haven't played it, go check it out. But they did this Kickstarter for Sentinels of the Multiverse, the Oblivion expansion, and one of the options was to get this giant box with all of the cards stuffed in it. So, and this organizer, and it went to Kickstarter about 2 years ago, and it got delayed because they got overwhelmed. They didn't think it was going to do as well as it did, and it did win gangbusters. But the problem was they had to get this box designed, and this box has to be sturdy enough to obviously survive shipping from China, as well as to store all your cards in it, and be able to move it around without it falling apart the first time you use it. And evidently they went through 3 or 4 iterations of the box, and they just weren't happy with it. It was falling apart, and it just didn't work right. And so they finally was able to get it tooled, and they did pretty good with their transparency on their Kickstarter of letting everybody know where everything was. It's another Kickstarter that took way too long. But like I said, I got the notification that it's in my mailbox right now. So I'll go pick it up tomorrow. I'm super excited about that. And I'll be doing a video for that. And then of course my Patreon members will get it first. Everybody else will get it a week later. Again, somebody popped on the channel. I don't know who they are. Somebody popped into the video. Pop in the chat and say hi so I can give you a shout out. Especially if you're one of my followers, which I'm hoping you are. If you're not, like and subscribe, because I do this all the time. So I like to keep in touch with my peoples, my meanies, as I call you guys. I have a Discord channel. I'm on there almost every day. I pop in and say hello, and we talk about games and stuff. This is my passion. It's my hobby. It's what I like to do. So I try to do it as much as I can. Somebody posted on my Discord channel to jump in, say hi, which is cool. But yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on. So somebody just dropped off. I assume that was probably Larry, because he said he was getting sleepy. But I think we're going to wrap it up, guys. We're an hour and 19 minutes into it. Unless anybody's got any more questions or anything they want to talk about. I got time because my wife doesn't come home until 11:30, and I'm kind of trying to stay awake until she gets home. Isn't that pathetic? Man, I'm getting old. Don't get old, guys. Stay young. Stay forever young, as Rod Stewart said, forever young. I can't fight it, though. I'm just getting old. But I'm pretty spry for 51 years old. Oh, William. Yeah, you've seen that art. What's your Discord ID, sir? Are you William on Discord? Or that art is by one of my members called Sathan, and he's a GM as well. Old GURPS. I can't even say that, sir. I'm not even going to try. It's Azagatex, as he Gatex. Cool name. Can't pronounce it. I'm from Brooklyn. You're lucky. I walk upright. Yeah, Sathan does all that artwork. He's a grognard like me. I think he's a little bit older than me. And he owns his own business and he works full time. And he's an old GURPS GM. So am I. Love GURPS. And yeah, man, doesn't he do some cool shit? I've asked him, I need to ask him if he would mind making me a logo for my channel. I did something up and it's cheesy. But I wanted to see if I can get as he texts. Sure, I won't argue with you, sir. Oh yeah, you're the one. I think you posted there to go chat with me on. Yeah, that was you. So I unfortunately lost my Nitro status on Discord because I couldn't afford to pay for it. So, but I'll be getting that back once my payroll start rolling in, because I like having that ability on the little extras that you get on Discord. I do like Discord as a medium, so I'm hoping at the new job I'll be able to use Discord and not get in trouble. It all depends. I don't know what the requirements are and if I can use it or I can't. I know I can use Skype. So if you're on Skype, send me a friend request or contact, whatever they call it on Skype, and I'll definitely shoot you. I'm here. You're everywhere, man. You're like Visa everywhere I want to be. And also, William, we were talking about MeWe. I don't know if you've heard about that or not. It's if you scroll up in the chat, you'll see I put a link to it. It's kind of the new Facebook. I'm going to be getting off of Facebook because I don't like all the politics and all the ads. That's just me personally. I want to keep Facebook for just my really close friends and family. Andrew says my Discord handle is Tessarius or Teersius. Yeah, cool. Well, obviously, Andrew, you must be on my Discord channel. If not, please go join. Say hi. A lot of my videos are posted on Discord as well. So I try to post them once they come off of Patreon. I put a link on my Discord channel. So if you follow me on Discord, you'll be able to see those, or obviously you'll get a notification that I've posted a new video on YouTube. I broke 400 subscribers, guys. I think I'm up to like 405 now. So I'm so excited. So thank all of you guys for joining YouTube and following me. That's awesome. Tell your friends and your coworkers, anybody else who might be a geek and a nerd. I've been tempted to start posting some of my video game playing. In fact, I'm going to pick up Kingmaker as soon as I can. That's the new Pathfinder strategy ARPG game. And it looks amazing. I've been watching a lot of videos. William says, I noticed that Google is doing away with G+2. Yes, William, we were talking about that earlier in the chat, which is why I'm going to MeWe. And if you scroll up in the beginning of the chat, you'll see I put a link in there. And I'm on there as John Polak, Mr. Mean. Go ahead and send me a friend request. MeWe is basically Facebook without the ads and the political crap. I'm using it strictly for gaming. It's only going to be related to gaming. I'm not going to put anything else up there. It's just going to be to support my YouTube channel and Nerds International, which I'm a proud member of. Nerds International has a G+ channel, and they were looking for a new home because we're going to lose all of our followers and stuff because they're going to close G+ down. that may change. I think if enough people scream, G Plus is going to say, okay, or Google's going to say, okay, we're going to keep it. But it has something to do. I read a little bit of the blurb. It has something to do with the like Permissions and Privacy Act and a bunch of basically politics that Google doesn't want to play in, and some APIs and stuff that people are using, and they're getting a lot of flack for security and evasiveness or invasiveness. And so I think they've just decided we're going to do away with it and shut everybody up, which I'm okay with. I turn off the like Google tracking and stuff, like, because if you don't know this, yourself, if you have Google installed on your phone, which just about everybody does if it's an Android phone, it tracks everywhere you drive. So if you want to stalk somebody, it's not hard to figure out where they're at. If and most people don't know to turn that stuff off. So yeah, you want to make sure you go in there, and I think Google's just getting tired of the lawsuits and the angry, and the hubbub and everything. So they're just going to do away with G Plus. And like I said, I'm okay with it. MeWe looks pretty cool so far. A bunch of us Nerds International guys and gals are on there already. So go check it out. Tell your friends about it. Those people that follow me, I'm going to add a link to my YouTube profile probably tomorrow. It's getting late tonight, but I'm going to add a link tomorrow for my MeWe profile. Like I said, it's basically, it does everything Facebook does. It has groups, has instant messaging chat. It has a phone app for the Apple and the Android. So I've got to say, I'm kind of impressed with it. I really am kind of digging it. I just joined it today. I did it first thing this morning. One of my fellow Nerds International guys sent me a link and was like, "Hey, check this out." So I signed up, and yeah, it's so far it's been pretty cool. I'm going to post my videos there. I'm going to stop posting them on Facebook, but most of my followers on YouTube aren't on my Facebook because, like I said, I keep that mainly for really close friends and family. And my family doesn't get this whole thing, and I have no family. It's my wife's side of the family, and they don't get the gaming. So it really doesn't do me any good to put stuff on Facebook. I do it just because it's kind of habit. So follow me on MeWe, check it out. Obviously don't join it if you have no interest. I'm just not a huge Facebook guy, and I want to kind of cut down on the Facebook because I'm just tired of all the crap that's on Facebook. And the MeWe looks like it's going to not allow that, which I'm very happy about. So we'll just go from there and check it out and see how it goes. But I think one of the things I'm also going to do is I'm going to start streaming some of the video games that I play. I'm not a huge PC gamer. I'm more of a Xbox and a PlayStation 4 gamer. I was lucky enough to get the Xbox One Scorpio edition. Didn't even know. I just knew it's funny. I had a Walmart credit card and they're like, we're going to close your card if you don't use it. You've had it for 2 years and you've never used it. And so I saw that the Xbox One was getting a new version, a slimmer version with a better, doobly-doo. And so I said, all right, well, I went on Walmart's site and I ordered it. And lo and behold, it was the Scorpio edition. So I kind of lucked out there. I'm pretty excited. I love the Xbox. I love my PlayStation 4. But I'm going to get Kingmaker for the PC. And I think I'm going to stream that while I'm playing it. So, because I can record my desktop, and we'll see how that goes. I don't know about Twitch. A lot of people have been telling me to get a Twitch channel, but I don't see too many reviews on Twitch. What I see on Twitch is a lot of gameplay, like tabletop role playing, which I'm not set up to do that. I don't have the cameras, and my house is a bit on the small side, nor do I have a table that would facilitate gaming and recording. And I don't see any game reviews or anything. So not going to be a big deal for me on Twitch at this point in time. Who knows? It may change. But like I said, I am liking the MeWe. So obviously I won't be posting too much more on G Plus because I think it's going to close right after the first of the year, according to the article I read. Which in a way sucks, but in a way I'm glad. They're just tired of all the politics and the security violations and the API hacks that are going on, and so they think it's just easier to shut it down. Which, in essence, I agree with them. I don't know what your guys' opinion is of it, but for me, it makes sense. But yeah, William, that artist is Scythane, and he does some very cool stuff. If I'm sure you've looked at all the art up there. He's done a lot of cool shit. I'm going to try to get him to make me a channel logo. Let's see, what is William saying here? I have some friends that want to play Kingmaker as well, and I may get that myself. Yeah, I have GOG. I was a huge fan of Steam, but I don't like some of the things that Steam does. That's just my own personal preference. And I like GOG. GOG is very less intrusive, and I like that all the games are DRM free. And I just like the interface of GOG. It's very clean, and I like that. So I'm going to buy it on GOG. You can get the basic version of the game for $40, $39.99. So I'm going to pick that up here pretty soon, as soon as I financially can, which hopefully will be soon. And I'm really looking forward. Everything I've been watching looks really cool. I mean, I spent hours on Baldur's Gate and all those games, so obviously it's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. When I get that. And there's some mods and stuff now. The community's gone nuts. The game just released. I mean, it's been in beta for a while, but the game is just officially released. Like I said, you can buy it on, I'm not sure if it's on Steam. I'm sure it is. I just haven't seen it because I don't get on Steam a lot. But I know it's on GOG because I looked and I added it to my basket, and I'll go pick it up when I can. And like I said, I'll wait. They're probably going to have a Christmas sale here pretty soon, or a Halloween sale on GOG. And if they do, they'll probably give a couple bucks off. And that's probably when I'll pick it up just to maximize my dollars. But I'm not going to get the crazy. They've got like a $99 Empire Edition. Yeah, you don't do Steam. So yeah, I don't know if you do GOG, good old games. I like GOG. It's a very streamlined interface. Link. Yeah, I can get you a link. Bear with me 1 second. I can't do two things at once. I'm dumb. GOG. This is a very tough link, sir. You're making me work really hard here. There you go. It's GOG.com, GOG.com. And like I said, they've got Kingmaker for $40, $39.99. But they've got a lot of cool games. They've got a lot of the older games. I have Divinity Original Sin, which is a phenomenal game. It's just so immersive and so demanding of your time that I just don't have it. But yeah, the Explorer's Edition for Pathfinder Kingmaker, $39.99. The definitive edition of Divinity Original Sin 2 is still going for $45. If you're into those kind of games, Divinity Original Sin is a pretty awesome game. Yeah, and then they've got the Imperial Edition of Pathfinder Kingmaker for $85. That's a little much for my blood. No problem, William. I check it out, man. I don't even know what my handle is on GOG. I think it's either Gideon or Elthar. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. It's Gideon, Giddon. So you can shoot me Titan's Quest Anniversary Edition. If that's one of my all-time favorite Diablo style games, but it's Greek mythology. It's a really cool game. If you get a chance, check it out. It's a good one. So, guys, I am running out of steam. It is late, and like I said, I got to be up early. So I hope that answered all your questions. William, you got a cool link there to GOG. Check it out. Send me a hello or whatever. Check out MeWe if you're into that kind of thing. That's where I'm going to be spending a lot of my time in the foreseeable future. Everybody else, Andrew, thanks for tuning in, man. You guys have been awesome. Thanks for all the cool questions. I'll definitely be doing a review of that Strongholds and followers when I get my copy. As always, I get some rest. Good night. Thanks, man. As always, like and share and subscribe, hit the little bell to be dinged when I dong, and you'll be notified that when I post new videos. And if you have it in your heart and you have an extra couple of bucks, hit me up on Patreon. I do give my Patreon members first dibs at the videos. They get them a week early. This one was just a spur of the moment. I wanted to give mad shouts out to Mr. Nerzigal for his Dungeon Master Toolkit. If you haven't got it, go get it. And as always, peace, love, and happiness. And Mr. Mean says, be nice.